Every time when you pass by and see an outdoor ad, it's meant to sell you an emotion. So a BMW 5 Series would put that there, and they will never put the regular 5 Series. They'll put the top-end 5 Series there because they're selling you an aspiration. It never tells you to go and make a purchase right now on some online channel. It did not ask you to go to the showroom immediately right now. It didn't ask you to take a picture, bookmark, or anything. If you are successful today, you don't have the top-end 5 Series. This is it. This is symbol of success.
I think I really want to learn about outdoor advertising from you. I feel like I don't really understand the agency well. And there's something we're talking, you mentioned like you have to retire early and all that, right?
We hope to.
But you choose to go into the agency world, which I felt like agency world is like, I don't know, it's messy, it's not very easy to scale.
So two things there. I think to learn about outdoor, I will try to compress it as much as I can. Otherwise, it will probably be a series of 10 episodes, I think. Number two is this common myth about agencies. I think if I paraphrase it in a conversation with a client recently, and this is how it went, the client says, why should I buy with an agency? Why can't I just buy directly? In my opinion, we find that a lot of businesses are tackling so many issues and challenges every day. Sometimes judgments are clouded, sometimes decisions are very emotional. So when you add in an agency, we come in not as an asset owner. Our KPIs are not about selling assets. Our KPIs are ensuring that we provide the right solutions for your business. But what's the catch? The catch is if we give you the wrong recommendations and you do not achieve the kind of results that you're expecting, then I think we will begin to be obsolete. So therefore, every recommendation that we provide to the clients requires us to put full thoughts about it and give them clarity as to why you should use outdoor advertising in your campaigns. We always had this client, SME client, always showing us the latest product, skincare. Okay. 7 years talking to him, we have not done any business at all. I think he's one of our biggest fans, I hope. And the recent trip when he came, he says, I'm ready to buy outdoor ads. And after doing a quick evaluation, we realized that, and this is going to be hard to say, we actually told him that the brand and the product is not ready for any outdoor ads. Why? Is because, number one, it's probably going to involve a certain amount of investment. And the opportunity cost of spending on outdoor ads is this. So if we look at his business and if we could imagine his business funnel and consumer journey, we actually told him the opposite. He didn't expect us to say, you're not ready, don't buy any outdoor ads, go and do social. He definitely did not expect this. So we could see on his looks, he just paused for a while, he stared at us. I looked at Ching, our business partner. She looked at me, and we looked at him and said, yep, that's the way to go. I think the essence of, or the role of the agency is to step in, assist the client achieve that monumental growth by looking at the media stack and media strategies, give them full clarity of what needs to be done. And last but not least, I think it's for the agency to hold accountability to what they do. So it's really putting the money on the table
Okay.
to see how it's going to go.
But okay, in your opinion, right, is it a fun business to be in terms of revenue?
So the business model for us is very straightforward right now. It's evolving as we speak. We don't charge our clients any agency commissions upfront. We knew from day one that the purpose of setting up Brandlah was actually to help or serve the underserved. Outdoor has always been seen as a traditional media for the big brands. So if I'm an up-and-coming startup SME and things like that, that is the Ferrari of media. So in that sense, we make our revenue from the cloud and media supply that we work with. So just imagine this. You're on this digital screen. A normal advertiser would pay less 15% agency comms as a discount and things like that. So they'll pay, let's say, what, 45,000 for the entire month for them. If you break it down per week, maybe it will cost something like about 9,000 to about 10,000. As an SME or a startup, it's going to be painful. There'll be a lot of things running in their mind like, okay, 10,000 per week for outdoor. Wow, you know, how many ads, how many exposures, how many KOLs I can get and things like that. So all these things will immediately come to play. Correct. So how Brandlah comes into the picture is we want to break that barriers of thinking this is only for the challengers. So we want to give them that exclusive opportunity to build a brand like how the big brands are doing it. So in this case, to be exact, a particular mid-size screen along one of the busiest stretch in downtown KL, a usual client has to pay something like about 9,000 to 10,000 or 11,000. A qualified Brandlah customer only needs to pay something like about 3,000 to 3,500 ringgit. Okay. The next question that comes is, which I got this in year 1 of our business, is this a scam?
Yeah, how, right?
Everything is apple to apple. The only difference is we have engineered the ecosystem, the pricing structures, the exclusivity for SMEs to be able to enjoy the power of outdoor advertising at a fraction of the cost. And the purpose of that is basically also to encourage businesses to take a omnipresence approach. We're blessed that the clients have given us full authority and trust that we will not misuse their budgets and so on and so forth. So that's what we have been doing.
So help me understand better. You basically monetize from the fee of the media placement, or do you charge for strategy as well?
There are days that we'll wake up saying, oh, we spent a whole week trying to develop a strategy.
Yeah.
Why don't we start charging
For the strategy, right?
Correct. We reflect back on the roots on why we started this business. We want to be advocates of outdoor. We want clients to experience, get exposed. But until today, we have still held back. We have still put a pause, or it's still work in progress, whether or not we want to charge. Simply because as we get into conversations with clients, we find that it is very interesting and very purposeful to get into a full funnel deep conversation with the client on the business strategy, rather than looking at it in silo. Media buy, I charge you this commission. Strategy development, I charge you this. Maybe in the near future we'll do it, but I think for now we will still treat it as a wholesome service that we'll provide to a client. We will develop the strategies for you. We will develop the execution strategies for you. At the current moment, we don't even charge clients for post-campaign analytics, where we are able to track outdoor campaigns, not to the T of it, but at least to show you the signals, the triggers, the do's, the don'ts, the very customized approaches that we have done in the past. What did we learn? The A/B test results. By right, we should be charging, but again, I think at this moment, we still want to hold it back and say we want to go all out and create that wholesome service.
But it's the thing I always a bit curious on, right? I mean, don't mind me pressing you on this, right? Yeah. As an agency, right? Time is your it's your money.
Time is money.
Right? Time is money, right?
Time is money.
And your engine, the machines, and basically people. Yeah, they're the talents, right?
It needs to be refreshed all the time.
So if you're spending time doing the creative, answering clients and ideating for them, right? That is cost for you.
It is.
Right? So don't you see that like as a way to, I don't know, maybe you want to monetize on that? Or yeah. Is it scalable for you that way?
7 years into the business, I don't think so we are OGs, or I don't think so we are matured, or we are retiring.
Yeah.
7 years into the business means I think we have momentum. We have rhythm there. Something must be right.
Yep.
We survived MCO. We looked at the glory 7 years and we always ask ourselves the roots. Why and how did we come to this position where we're at? The common answer that we get is when we engage into a conversation with a client, we are genuinely there to want to support the client. In Chinese, there's a way of looking at it. I would like to think if we begin to be calculative, then people can do the same to us. In the current decade of operations that we're in, what we want to do is invest, showing clients that we are capable and able to deliver. Even yesterday when we were talking to our workstation suppliers, in the middle of the conversation, I had to ask, if the quality of your products are so good, who are you telling this to? They are affordable. They are probably the warmest and most friendliest suppliers we ever spoke about or met before.
Yeah.
And it was just a bit shy of me asking them, like, if you had this service, this product like that, why aren't you talking about it? What are you doing? Oh, we spend on this package from this third party. We paid a few $1,000s. We got write-ups on this content platform. We got this KOL. We got this thing and things like that. And I had to ask, are you happy with whatever decision you make?
Yeah.
Yes. Are you happy with the outcome? Okay lah. You know, and what was your expectation? Sales. When we had the conversation a bit deeper, everything seems to be in silo. I did this was the content, this was the platform, but I was expecting sales. So I think we spent like 45 minutes trying to guide them, no charges. Again, that meeting was, I want to look at tables and chairs. I want to decide on colors. It became a consultancy meeting.
Right.
And I assured them we're not going to charge for this. I mean, if they want to call us after, the whole renovation is completed, feel free to. Just buy us a cup of coffee. More than happy to engage in a conversation. And at any point in time, you feel comfortable that you want us to help you or get involved in that business, by all means.
Have you had any problems like or challenges hiring people, and building teams that they come in starry-eyed, don't know the things, and then you can't put them on project set, and then you find yourself in hot waters because you have to do the work.
Yep.
Have you found yourself in that situation before?
To be honest,
Yeah.
I think this is always on problem. And I think if we have that mindset that we hire people and we can delegate the job to them and live problem free, I think it's almost impossible. You will hear stories. You have the best replica of you and things like that, but that story does not come out every day. You can hire a person based on attitude, aptitude, academic experience. You pay the price for it. That's what it's worth. More than ever, the most important thing is the hands-on job attitude and experience. I think it's a two-way thing. I think the staff may also think, why is my boss so fickle-minded? Today he decided the content direction should be this way. Then suddenly he brings me to go this way. The kind of thing. Sometimes it frustrates them. I'm very sure. I see it on their faces and things like that. But I think when there is no clarity in sharing why you are thinking that way, it often leaves people in a vault, in a room like, does this guy have issues making decisions? The kind of thing. We will ask ourselves first, have we even trained our team member to reach that level? To be able to take on a proposal, to source, to work on ideations, and to even stand in front of a client to present it. The way we work around here is more like a buddy system. All right. And I like this buddy system because number one, I don't have to present the whole thing myself. All right, to a client. I can tag team. When it comes to the workload, I can work both ways. I could set the big direction and the team will try to crystallize the other elements of it. It requires a bit of a check-in every now and then just to make sure that everything is in line and doesn't deviate. I suppose the ugly truth is in the years that we have been hiring people, there is no 100%. Of course. There is no replica. You can't. You could only train that person to the satisfactory level that you envision. I believe it's a constant work in progress.
Have you ever having a product instead of a service? Because with products you can scale.
Ruben, every day we try to dream. We try to dream of this, although the dream has not come. But this is a very interesting question, and not many people know this. I must say that over the years we have opportunities knocking on the door to be an asset owner. To be a screen owner. To be a billboard owner.
Then you just start eventually, right?
Yeah, so then we just market it as a product. So at one point of time, we did not put both feet in, met a partner, an asset owner. I think he's doing this as a loose change. I have the asset, so I put up a screen and I'm not actively selling. So I just want to find someone that actively sells it. And they chanced upon us and we sat down and we worked out a business deal. Quite profitable. That was our first taste of product ownership. And while we were very excited in that phase that, now we are kind of like part media owner. We are a little bit in the big boys game. After a couple of months, something didn't feel right. Because as I noticed the proposals that is going out or the ideations or the strategies that are going out from the sales team, I realized that I see these inventories in every single proposal. And I begin to question as to what is the relevancy in some of these decisions or thinking process that you have. Immediately, I was thrown back because the statement came like this: you gave us a target. We had to achieve it. It's part of our KPI. So therefore, wherever we see any tinge of relevancy, we will try to plug it in. And that was the defining moment that when I heard that, I told Ching, okay, let this partnership come to its maturity. And from then on, we will not continue with it. We will treat it as a normal business like how we're doing right now. The ownership of the same horizontal services or products that we provide out there in the market begins to muddy our decision-making system.
Because you're biased towards your own.
Correct. So it started to feel not right. Even though, yes, that location geographically was good, but it just didn't look good in that proposal. And true enough, the client started to ask, this is the ambition. The ambition is to have a mobility intelligence software that is able to give clients insights, refresh on a 24-hour basis, the mobility of Malaysians, the point of origins, the point of destinations, all these bundles of data. Just imagine this on a subscription basis. Clients can make decisions or can clarify decisions a lot easier right now by having access to this, assuming we give access to them. The media supply of the world, whenever they build their pitches to clients, I'm happy if they get the business directly. I'll be more than happy they're able to substantiate some of their site proposals, inventory proposals to the client in that way. The last thing we want the industry to say is, outdoor is easy lah, you just buy on emotion, or because my boss lives there, so I better buy a billboard there. This is the biggest screen ma, so it won't go wrong, so if I just buy it, we don't want that. We want it to be a little bit more accountable, a little bit more sexy, a little bit more tech-driven, and we want the whole industry story to upscale that way. It will benefit everyone at the end of the day, because I have had clients saying, outdoor not very difficult to buy, and there's someone that you and I maybe know on LinkedIn today that's saying that he spent about 100,000 to buy a billboard, but there's no sales. That's for a different topic and a different story that I've dissected and things like that. But this is the dream product. Products, digital products, subscription products that in line with outdoor or social services that we provide, that's able to help them see things, find things, look at data, interpret data in a slightly different way that will help them in their decision making. Along the way, we also created products, as we spoke earlier, right, in the influencer space that is relevant for the clients to buy in with the least amount of complicated plannings that we do for outdoor. So this is how we see products.
What makes out of home effective?
So we'll start off with the first thing on the definition of effective. So a lot of times, clients' expectations is shortchanged. They will think that buying a billboard equals to sales. When they think this way, then we start to analyze their content. The content shows a product, a brand, that's it. I don't know how influential is a billboard like that to drive sales. That's number one. The engineering of the content needs to be looked into that way. So what makes a billboard effective? Number one is some of the variables that is very, very important when it comes to making decisions for billboards is a lot of clients think it's all about geography. It's about location. Where's the best location, KLCC and things like that. We often like to think that geography is second. Psychography needs to be the priority. Okay, so look at it this way. The function of outdoor is meant to reach the masses, but you don't want to do it by chance, by taking a product, a billboard that you have paid so much money and throw it along Federal Highway and think that it will hit the masses. It will. Is it going to skew towards the psychography targets that you want? So when we have software brands, clients that we work with, when we analyze it, we'll tell them your primary psychography, geographical locations would be in the office live environment. When they have time every morning, every evening, every lunchtime, every after work hours to stare at an ad that is unskippable and ponder, if I am the right audience, or do I have an issue with cybersecurity? I think I do. Does my company have issues with this? I think I do.
And then it's subconsciously
correct.
that in their
Correct. So that's the second point actually. A lot of clients think that outdoor, because I spend it like a Ferrari, it should give me the performance of a Ferrari immediately, overshadowing all the other things that I'm doing right now. Actually, it's the opposite. We have also noticed ourselves whenever we run our campaigns, and since last year when we started tracking campaigns, outdoor has always been a shy, subtle, subconscious traffic driver to the client. Only when we brought those reports and we go to the client and say, hey, we don't want to claim everything, we just want to show you what we saw. Please invite your digital team in, your social team in, your agency, and you client sit there. When we popped the charts up, we showed them what was BAU. We knew how much they spent because the client told us. And on the exact day when campaigns start, we showed them growth. Not all stories are growth, but if I pick on the stories with growth, we asked them, did you do anything that moment there?
So you ask them for their revenues,
so we asked them simple questions like ballpark spending, channels, how many posts in the week, any collaborations, partnerships, events, anything viral, are engagements on a standard tone, or are we looking at suddenly something that's floating like that? And then we stack that into the data set that we have, and we insert in the time where the whole entire outdoor campaign duration was there.
So, okay.
All right. So then it makes it definitively clear that we are not taking sides. We are just putting everything apple to apple there. What is before business as usual, where you are 100% on social and digital, and when you had 70% social digital and you had 30% outdoor. Let's look at it this way. Ultimately, if a billboard can effectively sell something to a customer the moment you drive past it, I'll be in a $1 million, billion-dollar business. We'll be king. While I say it's shy, it's very subconscious, it's very subtle, when we showed those numbers to the client and I saw the priceless expressions from the clients, number one, she didn't know. Number two, the next look was actually to the digital team. So then they started to fiddle with some numbers. Me and Ching, we were ready to get shot there, right? We're like, shit, this is that moment lah. Either we get hantam by the client, whacked by the client for showing false data, or whatever they think of, or think of it on the positive side. We really did something for them. So when they did a quick clarification and things like that, the digital team actually did say business as usual. We had outdoor, and this case was 5 digital screens, medium-sized ones, 1 month, 50,000 odd ringgit. ROI savings, I think about 70 to 80%, like damn good value. They ran it for 1 month. And from that chart itself, we saw the growth in traffic and we knew where it was going. And the best part is this, while traditionally the search behavior was not mobile driven, for that duration, it was skewed almost 80 to 90% mobile. It did show that there is a see search attitude. It felt like when you buy at the right locations, psychographically first, before geographic, it hits the point harder than just because I got a lot of money, I'm going to buy all the digital screens in town, it's going to have impact. We tell clients that's not really impact. That style of buying is just creating noise. So when we're able to partially attribute and show triggers, clients have a lot more clarity. And this is the best part. When we dive in a little bit deeper, we actually told the client the reason why, and we saw this repetitively, why every time when we have a campaign, after 3 weeks, we will see the pattern go down. Back to the logic of this, outdoor ads should be refreshed. So in the case of that client as a service base, we saw trending, notice, take average, optimize it. We knew that 2 to 3 weeks is the average ad decay period already. So from then on, every few weeks we change content. That's number one. Number two, we also asked the client, are they getting any feedback, any emails, any DMs, any inquiries, any sales calls and things like that from the locations that they have advertised? Why we're doing that is because we want to layer possibilities. So when this ad went there, it was a bit localized, we had this sort of feedback. When this happened, this came. There was a challenger tire brand that we worked with, unknown to many, but today I think it's coming up the ladders. Based on limited budget, we didn't want to flush everything in 1 month. So we decided to do a long tail of execution for them with the same budget, 70-80% savings on media. And because of that, we are now able to see performance by individual location and psychographics. We actually went back to the client, if you want I can show you later, we actually went back to the client late last year and told them these are your 10 best performing sites. Again, like this attitude of counter-checking. Is it true? Did your dealers get a little bit more walk-ins, inquiry, mention, talks about it, and things like that? So again, what makes a good billboard? I think most importantly, it's psychographic first, then the geographic of it. And then the other key triggers there would definitely be the content. I think if you've seen brands like Apple, they do very short, sharp, one sentence, one impact, one emotion. Sometimes when it's a mind shift when we talk to clients, hey, I know you have the best product in the category, but you cannot give me 3 sentences. I just need one elevator pitch. I need a 5-second elevator pitch to go on the digital billboard or the billboard.
You better scared when they see it.
Often we will get this stare. No way.
They want to sell everything.
There was everything. I remember having this very challenging client. They are a tech developer. They wanted to promote the product. I almost fell off my chair when I saw the content. It was actually like an essay. No ChatGPT back then. So I tried to summarize this. I tried to understand it, spoke to him, and finally I just asked the client, you and me in the lift, 3 seconds elevator pitch. You know, so when he mentioned that in 3 seconds, I said, that's it. That's it. Keep it there. I think outdoor is not selling copy, it's not selling imagery, it's not selling anything. Every time when you pass by and see an outdoor ad, it's meant to sell you an emotion. If you are relevant and you're looking for an EV car, it's meant to sell you that emotion, that aspiration. What if you got that? So a BMW 5 Series would put that there, and they will never put the regular 5 Series. They'll put the top-end 5 Series there because they're selling you an aspiration. It never tells you to go and make a purchase right now on some online channel. It did not ask you to go to the showroom immediately right now. It didn't ask you to take a picture, bookmark, or anything. Yeah. That very subtle approach is selling you an emotion. If you are successful today, you don't have the top-end 5 Series. This is it. This is symbol of success. All right?
Implicit, basically.
It is that subtle. You know, for SME businesses, this sort of way of looking at things may not resonate very well with them. Again, with clarity, we ask clients, what are you looking for? Based on that, then we will tell you how best to actually go around engineering or locating or spotting the better, there's no best, but the better profile of billboards, regardless of whether it's static, digital, or a bus ad, or a lift ad, or a toilet ad, whatever it's supposed to be.
Selling too many benefits or features on a billboard is a mistake, right? What are other mistakes that you tend to see people do?
So I think the glaring mistakes begins from the start.
Yeah.
How it was being marketed. If it was oversold, then anything in the world can be done there. These are the few parameters that we tell client. Whenever you require someone to engage with a QR code, all right, you test it yourself first. A job recruitment startup the founder was very adamant. I don't care. I want to track results. I want to use QR code. That's the only way I'm going to do it. So I bowed to his request and I said, why don't we do this? They bought a week of campaign with us. So I got the content approved earlier. I said, I will run the content for you a day free in advance. But on one condition, I will bring you for breakfast because I needed you to be very early. We needed to be stuck in traffic. I needed you next to me as a driver or passenger simulation to drive through and you try to scan the QR code. So he was up for the challenge. I brought him for breakfast. He sat next to me and we were about 150 meters to the digital screen.
Yeah.
All right. And he was trying his very best to prove me wrong. So he was trying to scan. They said, tak boleh lah, cannot lah. I said, you know why? Because beyond the factors of the ad, the size, the clarity, there's also sunlight, there's also angle, and a lot of other things and things like that. So it needs to be looked into. You know, I've seen some voucher codes that is like, I don't know what form of language. I can't even remember it myself. I will normally tell clients, if you're going to throw voucher codes as a means of getting people to engage with it,
Yeah.
I think I give you a thumbs up for that. Secondly is make it as idiot-proof, as simple as possible.
Like the word or something.
Like,
don't put numbers. And
hello
pictures.
50, 50.
Yeah. You know, in the digital world, right, we have debates in like image ads, video ads. What about out of?
Oh, perfect. And this is personal experience.
Yeah.
On this digital screen, right in front of our office here, I was driving one day. Most ads have minor animations at moments. I was stoned for a while to look at an ad that was purely static on the digital screen. That was a pattern interrupt. I noticed and I thought, wow, I don't say it as a practitioner in the video industry, and I say it as a consumer because when I saw a fast food ad 2 months ago trying to promote the new chicken product and things like that ad was intentionally done. A black boxes, dead pixels in the middle of the ad there. And the first thing that came to mind was, haha, spoiled screen, haha, this creative agency is going to get their ass whipped and things like that. But when it sinks in, I ask myself, hey, I still remember, I'm still talking about it. And I still remember the product specifically right now. I still remember the tone and manner, the content, the colors and things like that, because it was a pattern interrupt that I did not expect to see. So when we interrupt habits and behaviors, there is a big chance that it will retain longer than ever before. It is never about static or digital motions and things like that. It's always about what you want as a reaction at the end of the day. But the ones that I would advise clients not to do is really too much movements and everything else. I think we are just calibrated in such a way when there are too many things, I'm going to skip.
True.
It is like me going through my social feed sometimes. It's just like, in the first few seconds, I cannot understand. Well, it sounds deep. It looks deep. Forget it lah. Just move on. What do you want the billboard to do for you, or what do you want to do on the billboard? It's two different perspectives. What do you want the billboard to do for you? Normally, is the first thing that comes to mind. I want sales. If I'm going to spend 100,000 on a billboard on Federal Highway, I want sales.
Yeah.
But then content-wise, it doesn't equate to that, right? So if I switch the question the other way around, you begin to see What am I going to do to the billboard to drive results that I want? Logically, sales is not one of it.
Yeah.
But if I want more footfall traffic, you can try, but you got to do a lot more. I want more discovery. I want more brand interest. I want more brand search. I want more traffic to a particular channel. When you set that tone that way, then you begin to realize that the billboard will not automatically make things work for you. You have to make it work.
Yeah.
All right.
I have to close this on the end, right?
Okay.
I'm going to go through some quick fire questions, as it should be fun, all right? And I'd like you to answer maybe just in 3 to 5 words.
Okay, Ken. I will try.
Random stuff.
Okay.
Just for the fun of it, right?
Okay.
Hardest part of your job.
Managing people.
Biggest red flag client.
I'll pay you next week. Yeah. That kind of thing. That's non-committal.
Most stressful time of the year.
Festive seasons. Traditionally, for the past 7 years, we haven't been really very big during festive times. Some channels will probably take the attention away. So those are the challenging times. And the pressure mounts on when it's end of our financial year, which is like this month.
Most satisfying moment in the business.
When a client came up to me, okay, this is a joke. When a client came up to me and said, Alex, after a meeting, he came over and said, Alex, so do you accept cash as a payment? I said, yeah, we do. And first you mentioned that the most affordable site is 695 ringgit. Yeah, it is. Can I buy it for a week for my own personal use? Then I said, why? I want to use that to propose to my girlfriend. So, wow. Okay, that's satisfying because we made it affordable and even average Joe can actually buy it to propose to someone. Value-wise, to the in-laws, it'll probably look like a $30,000, $60,000 billboard. So it's good, right?
Yeah.
A good start. I think the most satisfying thing in the business, in the current business of things that we're doing is when the client gives you a call and invites you to probably their company get-togethers. It already signifies how important of a role or what we did. We played.
Biggest marketing myth.
Billboard can drive sales. I think that is a part myth.
When do your ideas come?
When I'm swimming, in the gym, not working,
Right.
or even just talking to clients, things will pop up and my team will say, hey, focus.
Last one, what keeps you going?
2 things in particular or more, but the 2 things that keeps me going is number 1, looking at how the team breaks barriers every now and then when I throw challenges at them and they hate me for this. All right. Do AI content, boss. We never done it before. Break it. All right. That keeps me going. Number 2 is cringy or not. I think that satisfaction of meeting clients and understanding. I like to understand and listen to problems. I'm not obsessed with it, but those problems always shines or shows the pathway to opportunities.